Hello everybody! Today I want to talk concealer. Most of us use concealer for pimples, for dark circles, and yes, those are ways to use concealer, but I have a couple other ways that you're going to want to see. So as you're hopping on, say hey, and if you don't know me, my name is Samantha Jean Wilson, and if you're watching me live, you'll see the red live up there, and if you're not, you'll be watching me on the replay. So can you do hashtag always late, because I'm always late. Hey Amy. So today I wanted to talk to you, one, about different types of concealer, which one's my favorite, and then how we can use them, not only for dark circles, okay? So today with me, I have two different types of concealer. One is actually looking like a lipstick type of concealer. This is a full coverage concealer. This is the shade 04, so you would actually just apply it like that. Then we have a liquid. This is a full coverage liquid concealer, and this one is actually my favorite. I have it in two different shades, and the reason why I love it is because it is full coverage, but yet it's so thin and dewy, so it doesn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles and creases, and the coverage is amazing. And the other thing that I really love about it is the applicator. Check this out. So it's kind of like, it's just a little mini sponge applicator. And the reason I love this one as my favorite one is because you can use the applicator and do a lot of different things with it. All right. So I'll be showing you two different shades because I want to show you different ways you can use it. So like we said, the usual most common way to use concealer is to cover up your blemishes, right? Now, when it comes to covering up your blemishes, I personally recommend you covering up your blemishes before you apply your foundation, okay? Because you want to make sure you cover up that spot, have it blend in, have it all blend in, and then you're going to apply your foundation on top of it. Next up, dark circles. You want to cover dark circles? Well, if you want to cover dark circles, I highly recommend applying your foundation and then applying your concealer, because you want to apply your concealer in a specific way to make sure that you don't look like a football player, if that makes any sense. To have it blend in seamlessly with your skin, but yet cover up those dark circles. And when it comes to covering up dark circles, I personally prefer using at least a shade lighter, because you want to highlight underneath that eye, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do that. So what I love to do with my concealer is highlighting. So I'm going to take the lighter shade with this, and when I use concealer to highlight, I come underneath my eye, I love this applicator, in kind of like a long triangle. All right? You don't want to apply concealer like this. You don't want to keep it directly underneath your eye. You want to spread the product into. So you're going to, when it comes to makeup, you want everything to blend seamlessly, okay? All right, so I applied my concealer and I came down underneath my eye. So I came into like a long triangle, and now I'm just going to stipple it in, because when you use a stippling motion, you're keeping the product where it is, you're just blending the product out. If I applied concealer and then just started smushing it all over the place, it's not really doing its job. It's not really doing what it was meant to be doing, okay? So I'm just tapping it in the area. Hey, Mary Helen, tapping it in the area. I went a couple shades lighter because I wanted to cover up those circles, but yet I also wanted to highlight underneath my eye. So when you highlight underneath your eye, you look more awake. You look like you got a full 8 hours of sleep, which really doesn't happen often, right? Right, ladies? And like I said, you don't want to just put it directly underneath. You know, I don't know what you would call this, where this like kind of the skin bulges out here. You don't want to just apply concealer right there. You want to bring it underneath also, so it just all seamlessly blends in with your skin and isn't accentuating the circles. See? So we highlighted, we lightened up underneath my eye, and now I look brighter, and my my dark circles are covered. So that's another way to use your concealer. Another way I love using my concealer, and again, it's the reason why this one is my absolute favorite, is because of that sponge applicator. You know, a big thing these days when doing your makeup is having like your brows on point, okay? It doesn't mean you have to have these perfect, precise brows. It just means not leaving them, not tending to them, okay? So even if you don't edge them out just like I do, you can still use a little bit of concealer underneath your brow to just bring out that edge of the brow, okay? So even if I went a little bit too long with plucking, or have like maybe some unkempt brows, this still gives you that edge to make that brow really pop, okay? So I take this applicator and I pretty much just line right underneath. And I'm gonna have like this excess right here, but that's okay, because another way that you can use concealer is as an eye primer. You know how our eyes have that very, very thin skin, so when you look closely at them, you can actually see those purple bluish veins? Well, before you put on your eyeshadow, use a little bit of concealer, tap it on your lid, and not only did I really make that brow precise, I'm just bringing the excess onto my lid, and it's now an eyeshadow primer. So do you see how it brightened up my eye? Before I really like, not studied makeup, but before I really practiced with my eyeshadows and stuff, I always wondered how they got up here looking so light beige color, but when you look, they really don't top their eyeshadow up here. They really just work on this eye area and then leave this blank. Well, I can see that that's the key. Hi, Allison. I would love to. Do you pay well? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so you see how we really just edged out that brow, and then we also gave my eye like a neutral shade. So over here, we're gonna do the same thing. And when I look in the mirror, I can see those purpley bluish veins on my eyelid, because that skin is just very like delicate and transparent. So I'm gonna line this out. And then I just like bring some of the excess down right there. Then I'm gonna just take my finger, which sometimes it's one of your best tools, right? And I'm gonna tap it out on my lid, just to really make it like a nice eye primer, a nice blank, neutral base to work with for my shadows. And then I just like gently line around the brow to really just edge it out like that. So see, now we got two edged out brows, and we have blank canvases on our eyes to work with for our shadows. So that's another way to use your concealer. Another way to use your concealer, which is probably my last way to use the concealer today. No, well, we talked about highlighting. You can also take your concealer and you can go with a lighter shade again, and you can highlight. Highlight is using the light color, and contouring is using a darker shade. So I usually highlight with concealer, and then I contour with my bronzer. So with highlighting, like I just did underneath my eyes, I just apply it to the area and I just stipple it around just to blend it in, but I kind of want it to stand out a little bit. It's lighter right here. And then when you come down your nose, you just want to have lighter in the center, like so. A little bit on your lip, underneath. So these are the lighter areas. And again, that's how I use my concealer for that. And then the last thing I wanted to show you about concealer is doing an ombre lip. So watch this. This is 204. And we're just gonna line my lips and fill them in a little with this liner. And ombre lips are kind of cool because if you have a lip that's on the thinner side, the way that you apply your concealer on your lip can really make them look pouty. Okay, so just gonna fill in our lip a little, like this. Sticking to like the edges, you see how the inner side is lighter. You could do this with lipstick too. And you're going to take your shade of concealer, wipe off the excess because you don't need a lot for this, and then you can just tap it near the center like so. Then take your middle finger again, just blot it out. Okay, so it's lighter in the center. Then we're gonna take a gloss to just finish it and bring it all together. So do you see how that ombre look is? So I have the darker around the edges and then the center is lighter, which gives it that poutier look. And then when you apply just the same color gloss all over, it's still gonna come through the gloss a little bit and just really give it that nice look. See, so it just makes it stand out a little bit. So those are about 4 or 5 different ways to use concealer. And remember, this is my favorite concealer because of the applicator. The applicator helps you create all these different ways to use it. And guys, this is legit under $10 for this baby. So if you need a concealer and you need a match, just comment match me and we'll get you one of these. And I am gonna go finish up the rest of my makeup and then I will put my final results in the comments. So I'm gonna go contour and I'm gonna do some shadows, finish up with some mascara, and I'll have the picture in the comments. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. And I hope today you learned a tip or two. Have a good day, guys. Talk to you soon.